These artworks are not simply here. Like they didn't just arrive here. They didn't just appear on the walls. They were made present.
We cannot take for granted the presence of these artworks. Presence is sometimes thought of as passive, but in this case, we are focusing on the action required to make sure that these artworks are not erased.
When we started working on an idea for an exhibition, the main question was, how can we bring all these separate stories together? On what basis? What connections might there be between all of these stories?
The exhibition is a continuation of the work that the Alserkal Arts Foundation has been doing in terms of bringing light to the practices, to the artists, and to the people that most need our support and attention.
We figured out three main connections that we can work around. One of them was artists that fell out of history for several reasons, most of whom are women. The second was artworks that were taken by artists and other individuals on the journey of displacement and exile since the Nakba and until today in Gaza. And then the third is the artworks that are being exhibited with the damage, where the damage becomes part of the work. And this is how we chose these artworks that are exhibited here in the exhibition. So the exhibition brings together 17 artworks by 15 artists. And these artworks range from the 1920s to 2023, so that's a long range of time. But they also range in different geographies. Some of them were shipped from Palestine, from Bethlehem and Ramallah. Some of them came from London. Some of them are here from the Alserkal Arts Foundation collection. And some of them are with the artists' families in Abu Dhabi.
This exhibition is also an intervention in the conversation that's been going on during the genocide in Gaza. Instead of focusing on the destruction, which is a view that centers the colonizer, we choose to center Palestinian voices and Palestinian agency. And we narrate the story differently. We narrate the story as artists and other Palestinians who are risking sometimes their own lives and going to great lengths to make sure that their artworks survive colonial erasure.
Also in times where spaces are shrinking, for so many groups of people, having such spaces, and of course under the support of Alserkal Arts Foundation and Alserkal in general, these spaces are being made available for such exhibitions and such projects to see light.
Exhibitions in general are about making things public, and they're also about cultivating publics. And in this exhibition, part of what we are trying to do is to create this space for a public to manifest. And this is a solidarity public that finds an exhibition as an expression of solidarity.
The exhibition happened very naturally as a part of the conversations we've been having with Zaina and particularly with Faris. Faris was part of research rooms at the foundation this summer, where we opened up our spaces to local practitioners, local researchers. Foundation really is a space for research and for supporting scholarship. And it was through these conversations that started earlier this year, and of course last year, that this more research-focused exhibition was brought to life.
The responses were really touching, and it was such an emotional time for us to see the families of some artworks that made the effort to be here to see the artworks of their mother or their great aunt hang on the wall in this exhibition. It was really touching. The collectors, the institutions, the artists that made it all the way meant a lot. Honestly, it was a very emotional time.
I am the son of artist Janet Saraf Farah. She always wanted to paint the beauty of Gaza, and she wanted to make it so joyful. And she didn't want to paint sad stuff. She always wanted to paint joyful stuff.
it's so emotional for me to come to Dubai, to Alserkal Avenue, to see the artworks, not only mine, but others, and to see this magnificent exhibition actually curated by Faris and Zaina, my dear friends. I have an artwork here that I'm proudly exhibiting, the artwork by Suleiman Mansour. And we managed to save 11 artworks of Layla's collection, and her works, of course, as an artist. One of them is the one behind me, which is today part of the collection of Sultan Saud al-Qasmi, the Barjeel collection. Actually, it was torn to pieces, and you can see more than 11 holes were there because of a rocket which fell on the house in 2009. And then actually we've restored it, and then it came to Art Dubai. So when I see it today, after losing Gaza, after losing the house, and after losing Layla herself, it was actually so emotional, so touchy for me. But I was so happy and proud to see it actually hanging here, exhibited here, in such an atmosphere, the well-curated exhibition.
The Alserkal Art Foundation has lent works by 4 artists to the exhibition, Zulfa Saadi and Sophie Halabi, both of whom were born in the city of Jerusalem, Tamam al-Akhal, born in Jaffa, and Layla Shawa, who was born in Gaza. I think an exhibition like this one really reminds us that histories are held not only within what is represented in artworks, but also in the artworks themselves as objects that have a life, that have a history, that have borne witness to certain events, and in allowing us to see the marks and see the dents and see the journeys that these objects have been through also allows us to view them as embodiments of some of these historical moments and historical events, many of which would otherwise, and in fact are, written out of most history books. And particularly in a moment like this, when there is a genocide that is being carried out in Palestine, these objects serve as testaments that histories do continue living on, and they live on through a myriad of sources, through countless avenues, and that erasing them is truly a futile effort.
We're thinking about this exhibition as performative history, meaning this isn't a place where you come to see history, rather this is a historical account being written.